This is just going to be a short video to kind of explain how we all should be setting up our Schoology folders within our course. I am going to show you from a teacher perspective, a student point of view, and I'll also do a quick tutorial to explain how to set up the folders. So I'm just going to begin by looking at my first period course. And this is just what the course looks like from a teacher perspective or my point of view. So I have course and class information, agendas, force and motion, and then I have 4 folders that are hidden, and these are just the upcoming units that we'll get to throughout the year. From a student's point of view, what they're currently seeing are just the 3 folders that I want them to have access to. So I only let them have access to the unit that we're currently on. The different folders that we discussed using was course and class information. And in this folder, I've simply just put my syllabus. I've put some iPad helpful tools to kind of troubleshoot some issues that students may come across throughout the year. And I also have a folder of some of the stuff that we completed beginning of the year that didn't fit into one of our unit folders. Some of the things that I've seen in this folder from other teachers could be, a set of an Achieve 3000 directions or how-to videos. This folder would simply be used for things that you want students to have access throughout the entire year. Agendas is a folder that we all should have in each course, and it could be used one of 2 ways. It could be used to show students what they are going to be completing in the upcoming week, or one way that Craig Vaughn and I use it is that we have students access this folder if they're absent. So we don't update this folder until the end of the day so that we know exactly what we covered in class. So I've hidden August because I don't see a need for students to access that folder anymore. September I'll keep open for about another week or so, and then I'll hide that as well. But how I simply have it set up, so when they go into the folder, I have it separated by days, the day of the week and the date. And then when they click on that, I just have a quick explanation of what we did in class. So this is where I have students go first if they're absent before they come and ask me what they've missed. I've also used this, so I used my agendas from last year to see what we did at this time to help my planning for this year. If you are using it to explain what you're doing the upcoming week, again, I would break it down by months for the simple fact it keeps things more organized. We don't want to just have one folder with everything shoved into that folder. So by separating it into months, it kind of gives a breakdown so that students can access things a little bit easier. As far as my unit folders go, when I click on Force and Motion, everything that I do can be organized into one of these 5 folders: assignments, discussions, resources, videos, and tests and quizzes. So if students know we're completing a discussion post, they know to look in here. Along the way, I'll hide things if it's no longer necessary for the students to have access to. But I usually keep things open for about a week or 2 just for students that are completing things late. Once they know that it's hidden, they are no longer able to complete that assignment. So that would be the discussions folder. Videos would just simply be, any videos that we create along the way. But it's important that, again, we're not just shoving everything into one folder. We almost have folders within folders, which seem to be a lot of steps, but the students like the consistency. And if as a grade level we can all be on the same page, it's only going to help the students to understand, how to use Schoology. And if we're all consistent, then it's going to help them to understand it a little bit better. The last thing I'll show you is just simply how to make a folder. You'll just go to Add Materials once you're within your course, and then Add Folder. You can give it a name, and you can also choose your color. Down here in the description is where you can explain what that folder is for. So I did that for the agendas folder. I explained that that's where you go when you're absent. You can add some sort of description down here. Availability, and you can change this later, but you can make it visible, hidden, or if you know a specific date, you can do that as well. So I'm going to keep this visible and click Create. One of the nice features about Schoology this year that you couldn't do last year is you can move your folders around. So it automatically puts it at the bottom, but for example, let's say you want to drag it up to the middle, you can go ahead and do that. If you want a folder within a folder, just open it up, and then again, add materials, add folder, pick your color, name it, and then choose the availability. So for this one, I'll put hidden. So I still have access to this as a teacher. It just simply means that my students will not be able to see this folder or anything that's in it. The last thing I'll show you is how we made our agendas. So if I open this folder, we add a page, and on the page we name it with the date, and then we just simply list what we did for that day. And here you would just list what you did in class. You could put due dates, what the homework was, and then click create, and it's now available. So again, we just want to reiterate the importance of, as a staff, us getting on the same page as far as how we set up our Schoology. We understand that different things might go into your folders, but we want to have kind of the same outline as to how we all set it up. It's only going to help our students to become more familiar with this program and just make it easier for them to find things within each course.